Okay. I'd like to call to order the regular Storm Lake City Council meeting of October 6th. If we'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we get going too far, we do not have a new council member. We just have, sitting up here with us is Eden Etsy. He's with the IJAG. He's been voted the the VP of Civic Awareness. And since we have an open chair sitting up there, we thought we would invite him to sit with us today to get an experience of a little council proceeding. So thank you for coming, Eden. We appreciate your interest in being involved. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, first off, is there any considerations to any changes in the agenda? I have one in that item number 4, which is the ordinance for the zoning map amendment. I'd like to move that back a couple spots because I had mentioned the last council meeting that we wanted all 4 of our council members here to vote, and Councilperson Ramos is going to be a little late this evening, so we'll move it back until she shows up, and then we'll take that item. So we will move that probably to just before number 7. Do we have any other changes, Council? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda with the one change, moving item number 4 back a couple spots.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon.
Second.
Second by Councilperson Martinez. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The agenda is set. Do we have anyone here who would like, or has any disclosures by any city council members to any items on the agenda? Okay, we will then move on to hear the public. Do we have anyone here who would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? If so, if you'd please step up to the podium and identify yourself. If you do. Well, you weren't as late as we thought you might, so.
Just never know. Just never know.
Okay, I do have a couple proclamations, so bear with me as we go through these. First off is the proclamation for Fire Prevention Week of 2025. And whereas the city of Storm Lake is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in Storm Lake and visiting, and whereas fire remains a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and the presence of lithium-ion batteries in many household devices introduces unique fire risks, and whereas most of the electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys, are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which if misused, damaged, or improperly charged can overheat, start a fire, or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium batteries, and whereas residents should follow 3 key calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use such as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage can result in fire or explosion. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of lithium-ion batteries help prevent environmental hazards and reduce fire risks in home and community. And whereas the city of Storm Lake first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrences of fires through prevention, safety education, and community outreach. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Week theme, Charge into Fire Safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, and recycling lithium batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. Now therefore, I, Michael Porsche, Mayor, do proclaim October 5th through the 11th, 2025 is Fire Prevention Week throughout the city of Storm Lake, Iowa. This is signed and sealed the 6th day of October 2025. And I think we all stand that we support our fire department and just the efforts and the dedication that our firefighters, our volunteer firefighters have to our community. It just, the risks that they undergo every time a fire call happens, we appreciate everything they do for our community. And talking about lithium-ion batteries, I had one just so that you know that this is not false. I had damage to my phone. I got smashed by a car, but it still works, so I'm still using it. And I went into Verizon to get another phone, and they said, you need to take this to the fire department. And I said, what do I do? He said, yeah, it can explode at any time. So I said, oh. So I quick went over to the fire department and went to, that's when Chief Schlesser was here. And I said, Chief, here's a phone for you. I hear that it could explode at any time. He said, yes, we will use that as an example for fire sometime in a fire training exercise. So they are risky, so do not play around with damaged cell phones or lithium batteries. So. Next item is another proclamation for recognizing Manufacturing Month. Earlier towards the end of last week, I guess it was, I was up in Spencer to the Iowa Lakes Corridor, and we had a signing of Manufacturing Month by the different mayors in our communities throughout the region. And this is what the proclamation was. Whereas the city of Storm Lake, Iowa is pleased to have a thriving base of manufacturing business to support the local economy, and whereas these manufacturing businesses provide essential employment opportunities for the citizens of Storm Lake, Iowa, and whereas these businesses provide local revenues from which the entire local citizenry benefit, and whereas these businesses also make significant contributions in our community by promoting educational opportunities for our children and promoting a variety of activities which increase the quality of life of the area. And whereas we recognize and appreciate these businesses, now therefore be it proclaimed by Mayor Mike Porsche, the 6th day of October 2025, that we hereby recognize our manufacturing businesses, and by virtue of this proclamation, give notice to our citizens that we salute manufacturing businesses in the Iowa Lakes Corridor, and be it adopted the 6th day of October 2025, signed and sealed the 6th day of October 2025, Mayor Michael Porsche. So we do appreciate the manufacturing sector that we have in our community, and there will be throughout the Lakes Corridor region this month, there will be different open houses at a different manufacturing facility in each one of the counties. Ours will be at Platinum Crush, and I don't remember what that date is, but that'll be coming later this month. The Buena Vista County will have one in maybe October 20th or something, I think.
22nd.
22nd. We'll be at Platinum Crush for everybody's invited
They're asking for RSVPs,
to that.
sign up.
So there's an RSVP. You can go to the Iowa Lakes Corridor website. And one final thing, and this one I am pleased to announce that the city of Storm Lake has received an important community tree planting grant from the Trees Forever program funded by Alliant Energy. This grant has allowed for the purchase of 26 trees of 6 different varieties. In April, our community was hit by devastating storm winds that damaged and destroyed many of the beautiful trees in our lakefront parks. Following a strong volunteer turnout for cleanup, the city turned to Trees Forever for help in starting the process of restoring the city's impressive tree canopy. Although the program's grant window had already closed for the year, Trees Forever and the city staff worked together to plan the project we are announcing today. In fact, Trees Forever and Alliant went above what we had asked and above the maximum for their normal grants. Storm Lake was provided with all of the funding left in the program's budget for the year, which was well over $6,000. We are grateful for this gift that will beautify our landscape and provide shade and habitat in our public spaces for generations to come. we would like to invite the public to celebrate with us as we put these new trees in the ground. 2 planting events will be held involving our local young people. One will be held at Chautauqua Park near the Shelter Building on Thursday, October 9th. That's just Thursday, at 11 a.m. And they'll have help with the students from Buena Vista University will also assist in the planting. The second event will be held at Harmony Garden in the Storm Lake Public Library grounds, and that will be the Saturday, October 11th at 9:30 a.m. with children from the local scout troop assisting in that planting. Please join us for one or both of these events. Help us thank the donors and enjoy the trees that will make Storm Lake even more beautiful. And I would like to thank, Trees Forever and Alliant Energy. They went well beyond what they needed to do to help our community out with trees. So we will be getting those planted here this week. So thank you to them if they're listening, and please turn out Thursday or Saturday to thank them. That's all I have.
We do have one person on the phone for full comments.
Okay.
So, I don't know if they want to speak.
Okay, we do have, is there anyone here else who would like to speak here the public comments? If you're on the phone and would like to address council on public comments on non-agenda items, please hit *6 to unmute. Hearing none, then we will move on to the consent agenda.
Carrie, am I to go now, hear the public, or am I on the agenda?
You're on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. I didn't see it,
Is that number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, consent agenda. Council, do we have any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez and seconded by Councilperson Ramos. Since we do have a resolution on the consent agenda, this will be a roll call vote. So Councilperson Ramos,
Aye.
Councilperson Martinez,
Aye.
Councilperson Rickliffs,
Aye.
Councilperson McKeon.
Aye.
That will carry. Okay. First item on the agenda then is a motion to approve the fee waiver requested for Witter Gallery. Ms. Navratil.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. The Witter Gallery is requesting that the City Council waive the fee at Sunrise Point Golf Course on November 8th, 2025 for a Witter Gallery fundraiser. And we do have a member of Witter Gallery here for questions.
Would you like to say anything to start with,
Do you
Julie?
have any questions? No, because I covered it last time I was
Okay,
here, so.
do we have any questions, council, for Julie? If we do, I know she would be more than happy to step up here and answer.
I would. No, he's still
Any questions for her? Okay. Hearing none, then, I would entertain a motion to approve the fee waiver request for Witter Gallery.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
Second.
second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
Next item is a Hometown Pride update, and we'll start with Mr. Larson.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council. It's been about eight and a half months, I think, since Hometown Pride started. So we wanted to give you a little update on how it's gone so far. And I'd like to introduce you to Carissa Harvey, who is our community coach for not only our town, but for the entire region that's involved in there. Carissa?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thanks for having me in order to provide you the update on Hometown Pride. And thank you for being a part of the program, for taking part. A little bit of background for those that maybe haven't been introduced to Hometown Pride. We are affiliated with Keep Iowa Beautiful and have 9 communities in our region that are part of the Keep Iowa Beautiful Hometown Pride program, and Storm Lake is one of the 9, and Keep Iowa Beautiful provides funding along with each of the cities to hire a community coach, which is where I come in. I help the committees organize and work on the projects that work to achieve the goals for Hometown Pride. So as Dana mentioned, I'm Carissa Harvey. I have been a city planner for 15 years now. I went to Iowa State University, and then I worked for 13 years in the city of Fort Dodge with the Council of Governments, and then also with the city itself for 10 years. So I've worked on a number of projects that relate to community betterment in that area. So I'm honored to be a part of everything happening in Buena Vista County and our surrounding communities that are involved in the program. I've got a one-sheeter for you all, and any of the public's welcome to also take one of these. It just gives a little background on what Hometown Pride is, which you're familiar with. Our 5 goals are to build leadership, enhance our amenities, foster pride, boost economic vitality, and increase partnerships. So us as a committee, that's what we came together to start discussing. How do we do that in Storm Lake? How do we better what we have already happening in this beautiful community? So we've been meeting for, as Dana mentioned, 8+ months. The program started in December of 2024, but we started meeting in probably January or February as a committee. So your committee members in Storm Lake are your co-chairs are Alyssa Doble with the Buena Vista Regional Medical Center, and Mike Porsche is a co-chair. Dana Larson is our secretary. Laura Hanks is our treasurer. Maria Ramos, I always say it wrong, is a committee member. We also have Adeline Soto and Ling Kim, who is a student representative from the schools. So we continue to welcome any volunteers that want to take part, and so that's the intro to who we are and who's taking part. But like I said, when we started meeting, we talked about what initiatives we could help with in the community. So on the back of your one-sheeter, we talk about some of the things that we've been working on. As I mentioned, we started meeting in January, February, March, and we started to, we were talking about what projects could we work on, how could we help better things in Storm Lake, and we knew Storm Lake Proud Week was coming up. So our committee members reached out to Kim to see how we could help with Storm Lake Proud Week. We had understood that the year before there was more volunteers needed to make the week a success in order to get some projects done. So we just asked, how could we help? Like, how could we make this a great opportunity for the citizens to get involved? And there was a need. We made phone calls. We reached out to organizations and businesses in order to fill all of the projects for Storm Lake Proud Week. And I should add, any of the committee members, if you have anything to throw in on this, because I know Mike worked pretty hard at reaching out to individuals as well in order to get all of those projects filled. But then we also worked on the downtown project, where we helped with the planters, and I recognize a few faces here that were there, and we had over 200 first graders fill the planters downtown. That was a really fun couple of days for us, and first graders, they're a blast. So we had a good time, and it was also cool to just be a part of the improvements that were happening around town. We also participated in Kids Fest. What a wonderful event for Storm Lake. Everything, the day just went wonderful. So we were the bingo table. We had a lot of kids that stayed for quite a while because they just enjoyed it. We had fun working with the kids and enjoying the game of bingo. So we will be back are shorter term projects. So us as a committee, when we started meeting, we talked about how can we help with some long range things, some maybe middle couple year items, and then these shorter term projects. So those were a couple that were right there ready for us to help in, so we jumped right in. But one of your longer term projects that we know has been an initiative and strategy of the council is the nature area, the dredge spoil site east of the lake. And we understood that the city had already budgeted some funds in improving that space. So we thought, how can we help further that initiative? And so we took a look at it, and there's a number of grants available, and as hometown pride committees, we are often tasked with helping to fundraise for public initiatives, public projects that improve our communities. So that's where we're helping to step in on the nature area. So with the help of the committee, Dana Larson and other city staff, we got together and we talked about, okay, what are some upcoming grant applications that we can work on, and the REAP program was available. And I know you all had a special meeting to review that application. We appreciate you getting together to do that. And the application was successfully submitted, and we're still awaiting word on whether the city is awarded. But if we get it, we'll move forward with some trail and access enhancements to the site to start opening areas to the public at some point. And then if we don't, we'll move on to the next grant application. We'll also work on or look into some fundraising opportunities for the area. So that's our longer range one. And then we've got two kind of middle range. We're getting ready to launch a downtown bench program in partnership with the city. Again, and I should have mentioned, as we were talking through the nature area, we met with city staff, and this the bench program came up. We've talked about amenities in the downtown. Your downtown plan talks about adding things to the downtown in order to build more activity, be more inviting. And so we thought one way we could do that is by establishing a bench program. So we will help with the fundraising, collect donations. We're currently working on our means for collecting those funds and are looking at partnerships for doing so. And you'll hopefully be seeing that come out in the next couple of months.
Just to add something to that, to start with on that program, we're trying to get benches. They're $1,200, right? And people can donate $1,200 and have a nameplate on the bench, whether it's a business or individual or in memory of someone. We're kicking it off with trying to get 6 of them. I think we've got 3 or 4. We're getting pretty close to firmed up, so we could have a few more if anybody's interested.
So with that, if somebody wants to donate and it's in a name, is that name on the bench forever, or does it have a time period where it has to be re-upped?
I think we're.
Because we have a policy on our other benches.
And
We should look at, follow
To
the
be
policy.
consistent.
Yeah,
yep,
be
we can
consistent with the
definitely
policy.
look at that.
It'd probably be the length of the life of that bench, possibly, but.
Yes, that's what we've discussed so far, but yes, we'll look into that policy and make sure it aligns. We have pulled the city's donation policy, but that piece of it I had not looked into, so. So yes, we're excited to get that one moving, and then we're also working on some details for some public art projects. We met with Witter Gallery at our last meeting and talked about some potential partnerships. So we've been throwing around ideas as it relates to anything that maybe could be like a murals or focus on building upon, the activity at the library. Could there be some more art in that area, or even there's a radio park has been up for discussion lately. So we're still working out the partnerships on those, but we would welcome any feedback or input on areas that you all would like to see public art in Storm Lake. So again, we're working on the partnerships with that. So that's a very brief introduction to our projects, but I would like to hear from you all if you have things that you've kind of just had in mind, or things as you knew we were starting Hometown Pride that you thought Hometown Pride should be focusing on. guys have any feedback initially on Hometown Pride or its presence in Storm Lake?
I mean, one thing I would like to get somewhere along the line and to have a discussion is how to get more of a volunteer type of program going, where you can get more volunteers involved, so it isn't the same 50 or 100 people, that you can get some way to recruit volunteers or get up in some kind of a program.
I would agree with that. I think also the kind of not responding is because we've had multiple discussions. We were part of the discussions
Yep.
to be a part of this program, so I think a lot of our ideas have been shared and passed on to Mayor Porsche, so.
Wonderful.
It's not that we don't have ideas, it's just
We're just hitting them, right?
You're on them.
Well, so my next call to the community was the volunteers. We are still searching for more volunteers, because as Mike said, the more volunteers, the more capacity we have to get these things done.
And I think, to butt in, I think we started with just a small group, just so we could get it started. And I think we're at a point now where we could expand that to other folks that want to be involved, students that would be interested in being involved.
Recently, National Honor Society has requirements have gone out, and many people are going out for it. And one of the requirements is at least 10 hours of community service. So if we could have like a way to like allow these students to come and volunteer to eventually like reach that requirement, I think that'd be really well.
Wonderful.
That'd be awesome.
Hallelujah.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
He might be a
Colin.
member of your committee.
We're welcome, like we have, like
Yeah.
we said, we had, I think we're supposed to have 2 students on it.
Yep.
We've only got one that has come on a regular basis. But we're open for, I mean, if you're interested or anybody, or you know somebody that might be interested, let us know, because we'll get the information out to you.
I'll definitely bring it up with my committee I
Okay.
work with. But yeah, that sounds very interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and we meet monthly, the last Thursday of the month at 5:30. And another item that I wanted to point out was our community survey that we've recently released. We would like everybody to take the survey. So we have it in English and Spanish versions, and you can scan this link, but I've also provided both flyers. Please post those where you can around town. Hard copies can be filled out at City Hall and then also at the library. The intent of this is to do the survey the first year of the program and the 5th year of the program to see our impact. But especially this first year, we also ask specifically about some of the projects the community might want to see. And so it justifies exactly what we're working on and shows that we are working on those community-minded initiatives. So please scan these codes. Also, please follow us on Facebook. That's where we'll do some of our data, like our communication to the community. So the more followers we can get on there, the more we can get the public involved. So would you have anything else to add, Mayor
Yes,
Porsche?
I would, I mean, that's on the website, and I would recommend as many people as possible to fill that survey out. It's available to students. And it's important, and I think it's not only for Hometown Pride Committee, but I think as a council, I think we can get information from that survey that could help with some goal setting, potential ideas and thoughts, once we find out what the community is thinking. And
We have copies at Storm Lake United as well.
okay,
Wonderful.
we have copies at Storm Lake United also. Do you have anything you want to add, Laura?
I think she's covered it.
And I think if there are people, obviously, I'm speaking in English, that's not going to be very helpful, but for those that don't, if you know someone that doesn't speak English or Spanish, but you can
Yep.
do that, you can help them by taking the survey for them. Would you say that is accurate?
Yes, absolutely.
Because we'd love to have a much of a cross-section of the community as possible.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think it's important also to note if they come into City Hall to fill it out and they need assistance with Spanish version or need any kind of assistance, that assistance is available here. Not just for this survey, but for attending meetings, those kinds of things. So it's available for people.
Thank you.
But thank
And the
you. It's a
survey
nice
is
survey.
through,
It is.
it's
It
through
took me
end of
like 3
October,
minutes
correct?
to do it.
Yes, So we'll be running that through October 30th.
Okay.
And for the public, there are copies of the flyers here for if any of you want to scan that code as well. So, okay, well, I appreciate your time. And again,
you.
thank you for supporting this initiative. We'll just keep things rolling.
Yeah, we are, I mean, we are moving along,
Yeah, very good.
knocking a few things off here and there, and it's exciting.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is a motion to approve the new citywide cleanup. Since we changed the agenda, do we stick by that, or do we keep it going?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm bringing forth to you our new citywide cleanup program that we talked about previously, where we're going to expand it from November to May, where they can purchase their tickets at City Hall. 2 tickets per household. It takes a ticket per load, and they would have to take things out to the recycling center. And the recycling center staff has graciously accepted our offer to help us out. They were pretty happy about it. So I did provide a copy of the, what we have discussed and tried to make this easier for everyone. We will have 350 tickets available for the residents. It's $15 per ticket, per load. A load is consistent to a car or a pickup. If they happen to have a trailer behind that, that would also take an additional ticket. No commercial businesses, as we have in the past. Haven't allowed those either. They must follow the rules that the recycle center has out there for safety reasons and weighing. They would have to pull onto the scale, which is the recycling center's policy. The same restrictions would apply that we have in the past as far as no construction material or debris, no hazardous waste, no yard waste, no paint, no household cleaners, no junk vehicles, no vehicle parts, no tires with rims, no toilet sinks, tubs, or ceramics fixtures. Those things can be taken, there's certain things on that list that can be taken out there at separate times for the recycling center. So if they would have any of those items, the recycling center would direct them as to when they could take them. Well, I've also listed out the responsibilities for the city, for the recycling center, and for the residents. City staff will have a spreadsheet when they sell a ticket to make sure it is only 2 members per, or 2 tickets per household. That way, the recycling center doesn't have to verify their residency or anything. That'll be done here at City Hall. We will pay we will get invoiced by the recycling center every month if there's any tickets that were redeemed. And the recycling center, basically their responsibility is to get us the invoice, and they don't have to double check the loads. They'll direct people. As far as the residents of Storm Lake, just the big thing is to follow the rules and regulations that the recycling center has set out there. If they bring items not allowed under this program, they would have to pay for those items, like the construction debris and stuff like that. If anybody would have any questions, they can give us a call at Public Services or at City Hall, and we can help out with those. Every year, we'll try to evaluate this program to see if it's working or it's not working or what needs to be changed. And every year in June, we'll update the council and let them know how things went and see where we're sitting.
And the tickets are going to be available on November 1st? Are they available
Yes,
now?
they will be available November 1st.
Where?
Excuse me?
Where do they get tickets?
You can get tickets at City Hall.
Looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great program. It'll be,
Gives them more opportunity to expand their time and get some stuff cleaned
and I
up for them.
appreciate the recycling center for
Yeah,
working with us
they're-
on that. That's
I have one
awesome.
more question, and we might have talked about this when you presented the last time, the fiscal impact. I am very happy, I know this will surprise you, that we are not going to have to pay overtime. But do you have any idea how much that this is saving us by not paying overtime and not having to rent dumpsters?
I don't have those numbers with me, but if my memory jogs right, it's like $6,000 in overtime, and dumpster rentals were probably the same.
Okay, great. Oh, good job for saving us money. Thank you.
Any other questions for Kim? Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
We are, we're moving to item number 5.
Don't we need a motion on this?
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
I thought we were just doing an update, but we aren't. Okay, thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the new citywide cleanup.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon, second by Councilperson Ramos. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. I was getting worried about the next one. We are, since we did change the agenda, we are moving to item number 5 right at the moment, which is the motion to set a public hearing for pedestrian access route transition plan. Mrs. Navratil.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. I'm going to call this more of a housekeeping item because we do this already. We just don't actually have a written plan. So last Monday, City Clerk Martinez and I had our annual, I don't call it annual, but our 5-year audit with DOT. And they just recommended some items that we needed to have in writing and approved by council. You did approve those earlier in the consent agenda. The one that you have before you is a pedestrian access route transition plan. So basically, anytime that we do a road project, sidewalk work, work with any subcontractors, we already addressed that. We have a transition plan. We make sure that we add the transition plan, the proper ADA access on that. What you have in front of you is a plan that says it in writing now. So we do it in practice already. It's just now in writing. The DOT was kind enough to give us a template on how to write one. So you have the transition plan attached to the agenda. In addition, we also have some of our planned projects that we put in place to attach to the transition plan. And then we also added some future projects that we are going to look at. And then also kind of an average cost. So when we broke those areas down into zones, so zone 1 through 6. And then we have our public services department counted our ramps, and then the average cost it would be to replace those ramps as we start our program, our written program, I guess. So the recommendation with DOT is to have a 30-day public comment period. So we will have a 30-day, the agenda item would set the 30-day public comment period. And then a public hearing would be scheduled for November 17th to hear any comments on the plan.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Navratil? Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to set the public hearing for the pedestrian access route transition plan, and that would be for November 17th at 5 p.m. here in the council chambers.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez.
Second.
Second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Okay, now we'll move to item number 6 on the agenda. And that is resolution number 18-R-2025-2026 to terminate grant agreement with IEDA for the Storm Lake Blower Project, IEDA project number 24-ECBG-008. Mr. Darrigan.
Honorable Mayor and Council and honored guest, this resolution will terminate formally the $300,000 grant from IEDA that was destined for the blower project. As we discussed at the last meeting, bids came in significantly high, and the option that council chose was to terminate and reject those bids. This is just a formal resolution to return the money since we accepted the money through a resolution.
We don't have to be happy about it, though.
Nope,
And we are not.
don't have to be happy at all.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Darrigan?
To make you even less happy, I'm back 4 times after this. So,
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none then, I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution number 18-R-2025-2026 to terminate the grant agreement with IEDA for the Storm Lake Blower Project, IEDA project number 24-ECBG 008.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez.
Second.
Second by Councilperson Rickliff. This will be a roll call vote. Councilperson Martinez,
Aye.
Councilperson Rickliff,
Aye.
Councilperson McKeon,
Aye.
and Councilperson Ramos.
Aye.
That will carry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move up to item number 4. And that item is ordinance number 03-0-2025-2026 for a zoning map amendment change in the IN3 Hospital Medical Facilities zoning district to allow for a change to CC Community Commercial. This is the first reading. Mr. Olson.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, this is the item we had a public hearing on at the last council meeting. This is a request by Michael Copeland, doing business as Turnaround Properties, Storm Lake LLC. This is a property that formerly was used as a gym at 1309 West Milwaukee. At some point, it was used as a martial arts studio as well. Mr. Copeland and his partner have been trying to sell this place for some time, and they feel like the IN3 hospital district is a little restrictive for what could be used in there. The building was previously owned by BVRMC, and they did sell it off and split that lot off, so they have no interest in developing it as a hospital medical facility, and neither does Mr. Copeland. Therefore, he is requesting that we change it to a CC, Community Commercial District, which is similar to other properties along that corridor. He feels it'd be easier to sell this property with more uses that are available within that CC district as opposed to the BVRMC, excuse me, the IN3 Hospital District. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this September 9th, and they did unanimously approve this. In the process of reviewing it, we did go through Article 1204 of the zoning ordinance, which is what guides us when we do rezoning applications, going through the, the need for it. And we did reference in the comprehensive plan that shows that that particular parcel is potentially rezoned as CC. Based on all the information that we had in front of us, that was how they based their recommendation to approve this request.
Have any questions for Mr. Olson? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 3-0-2025-2026 for a zoning map amendment change in the IN3 Hospital Medical Facility zoning district to allow for a change to CC Community Commercial. This is the first of 3 readings.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Ramos.
Second.
Second by Councilperson Rickliff. This will be a roll call vote. So Councilperson Rickliff,
Aye.
Councilperson McKeon,
Aye.
Councilperson Ramos,
Aye.
and Councilperson Martinez.
Aye.
That will carry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then to keep us on our toes, we'll move back to number 7. Which for some reason on my screen is not popping up. Oh, there it is. Which is a motion to approve the treatment agreement and pilot study protocol with Hillshire Brands Company for the Tyson pilot study. Mr. Darragon.
Honorable Mayor and Council and honored guest. ISG has reviewed this Tyson pilot study with DNR, both with Tom Roos and Julie Fass. DNR's supportive of this concept and it's recommended that the city and Tyson execute a new treatment agreement which allows Tyson to discharge a portion of partially treated flow to the city at higher levels than currently allowed in the existing treatment agreement. To do that, it'll avoid any issues with compliance with the treatment agreement limits as it pertains to the city's monthly reporting. There's also additional language in the pilot protocol which would provide a mechanism to revert back to the discharge limits listed in today's existing agreement should the pilot be deemed unsuccessful by either party. I would be glad to answer any questions on this unless they're scientific in nature.
What is the advantage for us?
The advantage for us is getting enough bugs in the system to properly treat the wastewater that's coming through. It's an advantage to us and hopefully an advantage to Tyson. That's what the study will determine. And it's partly then going to our nutrient reduction strategy efforts, which will come in our new permit down the road.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Mr. Darragon?
I like to know that science is in play here.
You'd like to know the science behind it?
No, I like to know that science is
Yes,
being
there is
discussed.
science behind it.
Yes.
And if there was
Isn't
anybody,
that an idea?
yeah.
Thank you.
I have an accounting degree, so science is not my thing.
I'm social worker, don't ask me.
Let me just say that.
Although
got-
we
you
did
got-
learn
you got
about the
into the
importance of
bugs.
bugs when we went on our
Yeah,
tour,
we
so
did.
we're
I've
good.
been to a meeting or two.
There you go. Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the treatment agreement and pilot study protocol with Hillshire Brands Company for the Tyson pilot study.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
Second.
second by Councilperson Martinez. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Next item is a work session on proposed parking ordinance changes. Mr. Darragon.
Honorable Mayor and Council, honored guest, these parking changes, we have discussed internally and with council as well. Generally, we're talking about putting no parking in certain places. I'll go through them individually. For 1 through 6, we've discussed all of them before, but I just want to highlight them for the public. So number 1 is on the east side of Northwestern Drive between Locheatham Drive and West Milwaukee Avenue from November 1st to April 1st each year. Well, it would be each day through that time period. The second one is on the west side of Russell Street between East Milwaukee Avenue and East 10th Street from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. each day. Those are currently signed, but we're ensuring that it's in code, so in case it was overlooked in the past. So those are some changes we looked back to know that we probably needed to ensure they were in code. Number 3 is on Memorial Road from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. each day. This item we discussed with council following the completion of the Memorial Road project. Number 4 is in front of 1810 Richland Drive to improve visibility. This request came to us by a property owner based on the visibility in that area from the corner for a lot of the traffic that's turning. It looked reasonable to us and we're recommending it. Number 5 is on the corner of Northwestern and Highland to indicate no parking here to corner to improve visibility. That one I think we've previously discussed also. Number 6, no truck parking in the Oasis parking area to ensure safety. You might think with all the signs that are in that parking lot now that this would have been in code. It will be now. So it'll become enforceable. Number 7 came up recently. It's on the east or west side of Larchwood between 5th Street and Colonial Circle. With that, we reached out to all of the neighbors that are affected, and we've heard responses from 3 of them. 2 favor the east side restriction and parking on the west side, and 1 favored no parking on the west side. So with that said, we then reached back out for the others, and we've not heard back on any preference. The ordinance that you'll come up with at the next item is written to have no parking on the east side. And that was a preference of 2 of the people that responded. When I say the majority, it was 2 out of 3. There were about 7 affected properties that we did reach out to. Further on this one, on the corner of Colonial Circle and 6th Street, we'll put no parking here to corner, which will improve visibility at that intersection which is kind of crowded in general as far as traffic in and out. I would be glad to answer any questions you may have.
So I'm not sure if this is correct, but I believe item number 7 on Larchwood also came to our attention as a result of residents talking
Yes.
to at least Councilperson Martinez and I during the National Night Out events. So 2 points to that is we appreciate that they brought that up, and also how important our presence is at those National Night Out events. So we appreciate the residents bringing it to our attention when we were out there.
It is good to know from, as far as a resident's perspective, that things
Yes.
can
They were
happen.
actually, it was one of the larger parties we went to
Right.
that night. And they had great snacks too. I just remember that one, and there were a lot of children there riding on bikes.
You never let me have time to eat snacks. And
I know, we
Okay, but
talking
anyway,
too
yeah,
much.
so,
But yeah, that
um,
was something that came up, so I'm glad that
Good.
it got here, and that was only in August, right?
Right.
National
Yes,
Night Out,
so-
so.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Are we all fine with those ideas moving forward?
Yes.
Since the next agenda item is approving it. Okay, then we will move from the work session to the actual resolution. And this resolution will set the public hearing for this. This is resolution number 19-R-2025-2026 to set a public hearing on the proposed amendments to the parking ordinance. Any further comment, Mr. Darragon?
Honorable Mayor, I do not have any. The ordinance will reflect the east side, no parking.
When is that public hearing?
It will be at our next meeting.
20.
20th? Any other comments or
So-
questions?
Somebody should review my work.
We are.
Thank you.
What is the consequence for violating the no parking?
Whatever the fee structure,
I think Chief Cole's coming up behind you.
he'd be better than me.
Either that or he's coming to remove you, I'm not sure.
It's a fine line.
It's a $25 ticket for illegally parking a vehicle.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 19-R-2025-2026, setting a public hearing on the proposed amendments to the parking ordinance. And that public hearing then would be October 20th at 5 PM here in the council chambers.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Ramos,
Second.
second by Councilperson Martinez. This is a roll call vote. Councilperson McKeon.
Aye.
Councilperson Ramos.
Aye.
Councilperson Martinez.
Aye.
Councilperson Rickliff.
Aye.
That will carry.
Thank you.
Next item, number 10. He isn't leaving yet. Insurance updates.
There's the chief
Another
when
work-
you need him.
Another work session. Mr. Darragon.
Honorable Mayor and Council, honored guest, I'll give you, would you like a long update or a brief update of this?
An accurate update.
You may have the wrong person at the podium, as noted from our last item. We'll cover 3 events, the April 18th windstorm, the July 27th windstorm, and the September 15th Kings Point had a water damage claim. On the April 18th windstorm, EMC is our insurance company, provider of our insurance coverage. Stille Pearson Pertzborn Insurance is our local agent for our insurance program. Both have been very helpful in managing this claim. It takes time, and I think for all of us, it's seemed like it's taken forever. I'll kind of highlight some of the information that we received on September 22nd. In our policy, there's items that fall under a $5,000 deductible. In this case, it's the roof on the well house number 8. It's the Sunrise Park bathroom, the Chautauqua Park shelter house, and then traffic signals are covered in a separate area up to a $50,000 total for other structures. So a traffic signal mechanism, or the entire uprights and everything, will qualify as a structure. And noted some pictures in here of the trees that have fallen on different properties. And then noting the traffic signals and the separate part of that falls under the $500 deductible.
5,000, right?
$5,000 deductible. Thank you for the correction. So in this claim, we received $166,421 for losses per the coverage provided in the policy, and that number is less depreciation than the deductible. So the following has been collected for the well house number 8, $7,807. Campground bathhouse, $17,026. Chautauqua Park shelter house, $76,200. The traffic structure should read $46,876. In trees, at $1,000 a tree, we received $34,000. The trees in this have to be on public property such as a park or near public property such as a city hall, fire station, whatever. Trees that are just in the right-of-way but of significant distance from a location are not covered. So there were 5 trees that weren't covered of the 39 total. As we went through the process, the adjuster comes up with estimates. Then we get quotes from like construction companies to do the work. Then they kind of painstakingly go through the difference between the adjuster's estimates and those quotes to come up with what's reasonable. And I think they've treated us very fairly. For the Chautauqua Park shelter house, in order to begin repairs on that, we do have to check for asbestos. That's not covered in the policy. So that'll be an additional cost to us. Now, here's the fun part. For locations such as Kings Point, say the water treatment plant, you have a 1% deductible for wind and hail. That 1% deductible is basis of value. So Kings Point has a value of $28 million, giving you a deductible of $280,000-ish. None of the losses at Kings Point came close to that deductible. Same with water treatment plant. We've got some HVAC damage there. And so you're looking at a treatment plant with a $34 million value and a $340,000 wind and hail. So the losses there don't equal that amount as well. Wind and hail, different deductibles for wind and hail are not uncommon. I recently renewed my homeowner's insurance, and it turns out I have a $34,000 wind and hail deductible on my house. So, I note in the presentation that one structure that was damaged was the radar trailer, and there's no coverage for that because it's not associated with the site and it's just wind damage. So when you look at this, we have a calculated total covered loss for about $187,000. When you subtract out the deductible and depreciation, you get a payment of $166,000. Our internal estimates for this loss, for just the city stuff, is about $280,000. So I'll note that having a reserve policy, somewhere along the line, we're going to be covering about $120,000 of expense to the city in time as we repair certain things. July 27th, that windstorm event mainly had damage at Kings Point, probably in the vicinity of $185,000, about $180,000 being the roof, which doesn't come close to $280,000 in damage, $280,000 deductible. and the deductibles are per occurrence, not cumulative through the year. So, you know, we'll have to see those repairs in time as well. September 15th, Kings Point had a water damage claim. At this time, it's ongoing, it's active and it'll be covered, but the cost is unknown, but I think it'll exceed $100,000 based on some of the documents I've seen, so. That's my sad news of the day.
Thank you very much.
That is the last thing you're up here to talk about.
I'm
right
done
now.
now. Yeah,
So,
yeah, they should about wrap it up.
looking at all the numbers, so you mentioned $120,000 that we're gonna have to dip into the reserves to cover?
Well, that or you look at how you can make those repairs over time. So they could be in future budgets as we go through it and just adjust current budgets to accommodate it as well.
So
I'm
do
not
we-
a big one for dipping into reserves all the time.
Yeah, no surprise, neither am I. So,
So Tyler's not either.
yeah. Are there, I know there's some things that had to be or have to be repaired, like the Chautauqua house, but do we have a plan of what can be staged over time so that we don't have to go into reserves?
The bathhouse, Chautauqua, those will be fine because those are covered under the $5,000 deductible. So the asbestos, we may have to figure out in the budget where to pay for that, the testing and or removal. So, and actually the adjuster's estimate and then refining it with the contractor's estimate, we're very close. So it's not terrible.
But Kings Point, that's a hit. I mean, that's just.
Yes, it's a challenge. We can move past problem and look at it as a challenge or an opportunity to excel. We'll figure it out.
You sound like an accountant.
Thank you. I don't know if that hurt or not.
Have any
Was
other-
the water damage to Kings Point the result of our ongoing difficulties with the age of the building, or was it just a freak nature attack?
It's a water pipe break. Amy may know more than I do.
Just what she wants to do today.
Yeah. Come, share the fun.
Chris comes up behind us when
I'll
we're
be
in that
back
way.
here if you need me.
Yes, in addition to many of the projects that we completed last year, we were able to get the shut-offs completely redone on one side of the building. We do still have one other side of the building to completely redo the shut-offs, and unfortunately, that's the side of the building that was impacted. It started in one guest room and traveled through 4 floors of the building, creating substantial damage. We were very fortunate that Service Master was there right away, so we've mitigated a lot of the long-term, but we are currently working on doing all of that.
And are those rooms back online now?
No, not currently. They're being drywalled this week.
How many rooms was it again?
10.
10.
Yeah, and then some of our public area, or our areas as well for the staffing, so, yeah, unfortunately, but it was 4:30 in the afternoon, so it wasn't the middle of the night, and we were able to attack it really quickly, but, yeah.
But 10 rooms offline for any significant period of time is a concern.
Yeah, this has only been just a short window, and honestly, this is the best of the times to have a worst case scenario, so.
Oh, one good thing came out of it.
Right.
It picked a good time to break.
Yeah. But we're on.
Any other questions
Thank you.
for Mr. Darragon? All right, we will end this work session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item then is a motion to approve the joint agreement with the Lake Improvement Commission. Ms. Nevertell.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. I know that we have discussed the 28E agreement previously. We did take that 28E back to the Lake Improvement Commission meeting in September, and the commission members requested to make some additional changes to the agreement. They're fairly minor. The one, Article 2, Section 3, we added the original 28E agreement when that was originally filed on August 28th of 2009, and then also included the filing number. Article 8, Section 2, we added legal descriptions for the property that the Lake Improvement Commission owns in the former dredge area. It's the pond, I guess, for lack of a better explanation. Article 11 is changed public officials' liability insurance requirements to state the commission may purchase public officials' liability insurance on behalf of its board of directors in such amount as the board may direct. And then each individual Lake Improvement Commission board member is to provide updates to the 28E agreement to their respective organizations for appropriate action. So that is why it's being brought forward to City Council. If these changes are agreeable, instead of coming back a third time, we would just have City Council take consideration of the agreement changes. And then we would take it back. Our next meeting with the Lake Improvement Commission is October 21st. And by that time, all of the additional members should have reviewed at least and approved the 2080 agreement. So the final action would be for the Lakes Improvement Commission to take action. We do also have 2 members of the Lake Improvement Commission at the dais, if there's anything else to add that I missed.
No, I would just say that these most recent changes that were requested just strengthen the 28E. I think one of the things that we've all struggled with is that everybody on the LIC is pretty new with changeover, and this helps document the history of how the agreement developed, and makes it easier for us or future LIC commissions members to look up information. It really wasn't a difficult change at all.
I would agree. It's just pretty much almost like housekeeping. Just
Yep. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments, Council? Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the joint agreement with the Lake Improvement Commission.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez,
Second.
second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Next item is a memorandum of understanding, City of Storm Lake and the Teamsters Local 554. Ms. Navratil.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. This may look familiar to you. We did this exact same thing in 2023. We had a memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters Local 554 for a mid-year pay adjustment. So it has been our practice that if we are able to offer a mid-year pay adjustment due to either transition, elimination of a position, we try to do so in different city departments. So this is not unique to the police union. It's also the practice that we have in other city departments. What you have before you is the position. The community service officer position is being eliminated as the employee did transfer to a different department. The CSO position is funded 100% through general fund property tax dollars, and by eliminating that position, there would be future cost savings in the employee benefits levy. So what we're requesting to City Council is to disperse the salary portion to the patrol officers. In order to provide a mid-year salary increase, we do have to have a memorandum of understanding that would be attached to the current union contract. So you would have a $1 increase per hour for per patrol officers, and then we would attach also the new pay rate that would also go to the Teamsters 554. Now, I know we've had these discussions internally. The program, building, code, and compliance department is going to take over all of the nuisance calls, and also any property maintenance. And so when we look at streamlining our organization, It will be one department that will be doing the work versus two separate ones. So you may have had a call on weeds and grass, and then on the same property, you may have had the window that needed to get replaced. So instead of having two separate cases, open cases, we would have one. And so one department would be responsible for that.
We have any other questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for the city of Storm Lake and the Teamsters Local 554.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
Second.
second by Councilperson Martinez. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Okay, that looks like we're down to any city council requested items.
I do. So one of the things that we get regularly in our agenda packets is the code enforcement summaries. So this is a nice segue from, thank you for that. And so I have questions about it, and while many of us may understand the code enforcement and the violations, I think it would be worthwhile to have a work session that describes the difference between the categories that we see on that report. Some are violations, some are citations. What are we doing with those? I personally, I think some other council members have also been approached by residents, at least in the last month, with concern about lack of upkeep on certain properties. And in order to address that, I think having that explained in a work session would be best for all of us, as well as for informing the public.
I think that's good, because I don't think we've done that for, I mean, I've been through it, I don't know, maybe.
I've not.
You
I don't
haven't, so
think
since
we
Matt's
have.
been.
No, we haven't done it
Must
for
have
4
been
years.
before Matt, so it's been at least 4 years, so. I think that's a good idea. Anything else?
76.
Do you have anything?
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, we do have the work session with the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services regarding vape and consumable products on November 3rd of 2025.
Okay.
So we would have the code enforcement work session after that meeting,
Fine. Okay, thank you.
That's good.
after November 3rd, I should say.
Right.
Not at the same meeting.
Right.
Anything else? I'd like to thank Eden for being here today. Thank you